Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is going to be a quick reading. I wanted to film one. I'll post another one tomorrow. It's technically Thursday. I'll start pulling cards. I feel like, well, this was Tuesday, but Tuesday was a little weird because I woke up to the sounds of like the dumpster trucks, which is not an uncommon sound because that's what happens. But I'm like, oh no, because I checked the day and I was thinking, oh, I forgot to put the trash out. But luckily, I haven't produced that much trash in the past week. But I mean, I want to do the reading, and I also just got the vision again today too. I had this a while ago. It was technically in a dream, but the dream was in a specific location that I wasn't sure about. And it was like an apartment, and it seemed like an older daughter, like a mother, and her mother, like almost like grandmother, were there. And I was like trying to say, like, I don't want to have any interaction because um like I could tell um the beings that come into the dreams instead of just being the dream. And so I had the vision of the grandmother again because that specific dream, the grandmother gave me, like, handed me a baby, and it was interesting because like the baby had weight to it, like I could feel the weight, and I was just thinking, like, where am I? So I felt like, well, I said it in my channeled messages too. So um, I got that earlier today. I get a lot of like faith cards too because you have the Hierophant, and it can also be like a higher learning type of card, but it is one that's kind of like Pope-like or priest-like. It's different rankings, but um, there's some type of link to those things. Then you have the Queen of Pentacles, which is linked to spirituality, Christianity specifically. I won't necessarily link it, but I mean, you could put it to how it suits your life. Whether you're religious or spiritual, or if you're other stuff. And you also have the Temperance card here too. So there's a lot of things in that nature. And there's also like a survival energy too. There was like this um there's like this show that came on a couple of years ago. It was like a zombie. It was like post-apocalyptic in a way, but not really because there were still zombies in the world. And, you know, it's like surviving that time. And there's that part of it that's like just seems like being part of that survival. So um, it doesn't necessarily need to be that's of course like that like specific thing, but it seems like it is getting past those times in a way. There's like a soothing energy that you get from when temperance is combined with hierophant because you have like, and this is a fire sign card too, like linked to Sagittarius, and since the Hierophant is more of like the God Source type of energy, you have Seraphim right there, which is one of the angels that are directly like interacting with God or the God Source. And I say fire sign because Seraphim is like the angel of fire. So there are different types of categories of angels. So, it like there's some that are the closest, like I guess physically to God, and then there are some that are closer to us, and there are angels that have specific roles. This is like a praiseworthy type of energy. Um, and it can be from different points and from different people. This could also be having like eyes or like guides in that way too, because it's an angel. It's definitely not something that is more linked to um, media type of angels, because this is more of like what's in the like the biblical context of the descriptions of angels. So you have Seraphim, and Seraphim has many wings and many eyes. And I believe that angel has multiple heads. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to make sure on that. Wait, actually make sure on that. 100% omnipresent and all-seeing nature. That's like the multiple eyes. Let me see. In some traditions, seraphim are described as having 4 faces and 6 wings. So there is there of course is symbolism that is linked to that. There's also the interpretations or even like the visions or descriptions that the writers are saying, and I'm talking about the writers who wrote different areas of, or parts of the Bible. Again, you could take what you want from it. I know not everyone is necessarily religious, but in the future you have the Three of Pentacles. So Temperance, Hierophant, and there's the Star card with the Queen of Pentacles, and those are like the overall energy cards. They're major arcana. Queen of Pentacles is a court card in the minor arcana. So you have Pentacles and Pentacles right now. So there seems like an establishing energy, and I feel like if you were trying to establish yourself, or like maybe there's like the wanting to establish yourself in a job. The Three of Pentacles is a card where there are multiple interactions. It can be with another um, person, another group. It can be a work setting thing, or it can be a family unit. With the three Three of Pentacles, I feel like it is a sustainable card with the Queen of Pentacles, because the Queen of Pentacles, it seems like it has that type of independent, it feels like more of an independent archetype that wants to do and learn things. It doesn't seem like it's a card that tries to solely depend on somebody. Um, Although with the context of this specific card, it is linked to conversion too. So this could be like a period that goes into a different phase of life. And I do feel like there's a lot of high hopes for it because there's just so many like spiritual cards and even the star card, because the star card can be like in a sense a spiritual thing too, because and it links to Aquarius, because it's like the stars in the sky, or you can see it as wishing on a star. It has the water bear, so that's air and water there. There is like an aspect of genuine energy or like hope. It can be like a future type of energy. This can be something that feels that is earned based off of maybe what you did. It can be in like the career field, but I also feel like it's the way that you move and the way that you represent yourself in this world. And at the end of the day, how do you feel about how you represented yourself? Do you feel like true to yourself? And do you feel like maybe is it important for you to contribute to the world, or um, it's like that fulfillment that can be soul like, that links to the soul of what that purpose is. It does feel like an opening too, like if it's like a transition, it feels like it's earning that way to this specific place in life. Um, and the way that I'm seeing it is like almost like when you have the light, kind of the light at the end of the tunnel type of situation. And so, and another major arcana, this is a really strong reading. So you have the Sun card too, and it's would be like the strongest card in the deck. I don't feel like many people would argue that. Another major arcana is another angel card. So the obstacle is the Magician and how it brings things together. I feel like that's where it's like the optimism or trying to feel like there is a way with the Queen of Pentacles, because with the Magician, it might seem like not all the answers are there, not all the resources are there. The Magician is like a card that holds all of the elements in a way. And it's kind of like reminiscent of the World card too, even though it's really towards the beginning and the World is at the end, not counting the Fool card because the Fool is zero. The Magician is one that harnesses the different aspects or the different elements of life. And when it's in like an obstacle, it may be a struggle to see or even prioritize how we're able to do that. I'm thinking maybe vocalization. I'm so sorry. Because the past couple of days I've had like kind of spicy foods that I made for myself, and I was just coughing at the end of it. I think it like kind of it was like towards the end when you didn't really feel the spice, but then your body felt the spice, and it's like, what are you doing? Because I just was like coughing, and it kind of reminded me of like you're saying the frog in your throat. Now it is kind of linked to coughing, but if you really kind of try to go deeper into it, like in a metaphysical way, it might be something where there is that type of vocalization that you're really striving for. I feel like this could be for the other energy if you are interacting, which it wouldn't be surprised because you have the Three of Pentacles there too, towards the future. And there is like a sense of patience. So there's a heavy Pentacles energy. So I feel like whatever's happening, it seems to be putting stuff in place for it not to, I'm not saying it's never going to move, but it's as if the seeds are planted and it's established. It's not something that just is up in the air and that it's unpredictable. This is something where you may not see it now, but it will be as established as you make it. So that goes with the Sun card, and that just feels like together it will be a good harvest for the future, which it seems great, especially with this time around in a lot of areas where you feel the whole winter experience. And sometimes I feel like days just, or even situations in life just like kind of creep up on you. And again, with how we represent our life, how do we react and how do we carry through? And with the lasting impact on things, can you say like if it's important to you, like if you're proud of the things that you've done? There's this like random memory that, and another major arcana. So you have majority of major arcana in the reading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana cards, and then there are 3 minor arcana. I mean, minor arcana is important too. The past is a high priestess. One memory that I had over the years is like I feel like it was like a family friend, and then the my mom's friend was like the grandmother of this person, and I was okay with this person. I was more of like antisocial at that time, going through a lot of my emo phase that never really went away. But I know that it was like when we were young and um, so young that she was younger than maybe like 7, like she was really young and I was around her age, but not there. And so, um, she wanted to hang out at because it's like a party function, and I'm like, okay. I wasn't super enthused, but I'm honestly like happy the way that I reacted back then because I wasn't like a dick either because I was like, well, I'll go. Um, I don't really want to, but I'll go and hang out with you because I know that you're really interested in doing that. And I feel like it was like a lasting impression. Um, because she greeted me, it was like a lot, like years later, and I was just like surprised because it's been a long time. And she was like really happy to see me. It wasn't anything like a lot there, but I was still happy that I wasn't a dick that day. I mean, it wasn't like I feel like maybe it was like twice where I had an interaction, and um, that was that. So even that, like, it kind of makes you glad that you did what you did, and then you made another person maybe like the person was happy too. So there's like that sense of thoughtfulness too, and I feel like there isn't a Libra card necessarily here, with a sense of karmic justice and maybe that type of reward for being on a specific path. And even I feel like there's like a truthfulness or staying true to your character that comes out of this, that life really kind of tries to give you those benefits even when you feel like, man, I I feel like I'm a do-gooder, but when is it going to be a good time? And I feel like there will be a good harvest. Throughout life, we experience good things and not so good things, and maybe even horrible things. But this time around, I feel like there's that shine that comes out, and our shine might be like a late blooming type of thing, but it's still going to be a blossoming type of a situation. With the high priestess in the past, it does seem like the energy of I keep going at this because it feels right to do that. And there's like a mystic type of energy too that comes from it with the high priestess, and then you have it's going to be, I don't know if it's a sunset or sunrise, and then the star card is like galactic, and it seems like it could be whatever nighttime, but I mean there's clouds there, so I feel like it might be nighttime. But then you have the sun. So there does seem like the next piece of it is the sun card. So that'll be, I feel like it might be an energy that brings you back because there is like a child, traditionally on the Rider-Waite-Smith card, a child with a horse, of riding a horse, and it's kind of a jovial type of peaceful or pure type of energy. They say like children have a pure type of energy. Um, Maybe they haven't experienced that much. And maybe you are like a protector or you do harness that energy that really brings light into those situations. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.